to promote our children speaking the language, I want to greet you in our language too. I am so honored to be here this afternoon. When I connected with Noreen online, actually, I was so proud to find out that there was a Ugandan who was trying to bring Ugandans together for the sake of supporting one another. That's something that deserves a round of applause. Let's just appreciate Noreen for what you're doing. Being a Ugandan myself, I came to the United Kingdom with my 5 brothers and sisters when I was 8 years old. I have grown up and studied in the United Kingdom, but one thing I am appreciative of my mom is that at home, Mummy only spoke Luganda. She just cooked Ugandan food, and it is because of that that she promoted Uganda that I am what you call a Ugandan. I'm proud. I was going to say praise the name of the Lord. I am also by faith, I believe in Jesus Christ, so hence where the praise the Lord comes from. But I'm so honored to be here this afternoon, and I just want to thank all of you for honoring the invitation and also coming to join us on this initial event of Ugandan women in business. I'm just going to read something real quick, and then I'll introduce myself and the work that I do. And this is what I prepared this afternoon. No community ever thrived where its members were divided. This unity, I would argue, is more important for our children than us parents. In a multicultural society, as a child gets older, they seek for a place of belonging, an origin, an identity. If this is not supported by the parents at the home, then children turn to the community. Where the community has failed and had to have safe havens for children to connect, then gangs in some cases have become the alternative. I know this because growing up in the United Kingdom, going to college, many times when my friends would ask me where was I from, and when you said Uganda, many would respond and say, oh, Idi Amin. So I remember growing up having what we used to call undercover Ugandans. We didn't want to say it, we were Ugandan, but we're not proud at that point. As parents, we are sadly out of touch with the reality that our children that are living in. How? It is common, or it is said now, that some parents, your child will leave your house with a knife or a gun in their bag, and you're not aware of it. Some parents, and the reason for this is because as parents, sometimes we are afraid of what we don't understand. We are afraid of the culture that our children are growing in, and therefore many distance themselves from such a culture. Some parents are only equipped with the parenting skills that our grandparents had almost 20, 30 years ago. There's nothing wrong with that. But we are parenting and bringing up children in this generation. Therefore, we as parents must be equipped, in addition to what our parents and grandparents passed on to us, must now be equipped with the skills that we need in this generation in order to keep up with our children. What do I mean? Our children now have more access to information than we ever did when we were growing up. Our children have the ability that even when you apply passwords, they have the ability to bypass the passwords and view the content that you prohibit them from. Therefore, it means as parents, I used to say this, I would ask parents and they say, well, I don't know. But I believe that we're in such a time where as parents, we can no longer use the line, oh, well, I didn't know that. We must get to know. Noreen, you mentioned briefly about online. If you look at what is happening in the world right now, they are now talking about things like industrial revolutions, where the 4th industrial revolution is going to be online. They're talking about virtual reality. They're talking about things existing online. There are children whose lives exist online. Children who don't know how to interact and communicate with others because they're on their phones online. Therefore, as Ugandan women, as mothers, it is important that you get to know. And I would ask, maybe you run a workshop where mothers, if they're not aware, understand how the internet works, understand how Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube, these are all platforms that our children are existing. But as parents, if we're not aware of that, then we're going to be shocked when we discover things about our parents. On that note, allow me to introduce myself. As I say, I am Winniek or Winniek. By profession, I am what you call a sleep consultant. Many have never heard of that. A sleep consultant is simply somebody that teaches children how to sleep. Now, before I started working as a sleep consultant, I assumed we know what we're doing. And so most of my clientele with people outside of the Ugandan community. But that's what I do. I run an organization called Empowering Mothers. And Empowering Mothers is an organization whose desire and passion is to empower and build the confidence of mothers to do this job. And the reason why I came up or started the organization, when I was on maternity leave with my sons here, my oldest son is here, I was on maternity leave and I met so many women and so many mothers who would say, I can't do this. This is too hard. I can't do this. And many mothers from different parts of the world, it's known, and I'm sure you guys can relate, that sometimes living within the United Kingdom, it can be really lonely. If you have no family, if you're the only one and you have children, it can be a lonely place. And for many mothers, they found that they did not have the confidence to be mothers. But being a mother, I am a mother of 6. My son, he's the oldest, Divine is 10 years old. I have 4 girls. I have an 8-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 4-year-old. I'm also what you call in Uganda, Nalongo. I am a mother to twins who are 2.5 years old. But I realized mothers did not have the confidence, and so I wrote the book. The book is titled Empowering Mothers to Mother. You can get the book online. In accordance with the book, I also run a training program in accordance with the book. I have 2 other books that are coming out this year. One of the books is called Diary of a Sleep Consultant. And the other one brings me on to the next hat that I wear this afternoon. I'm also founder of an organization called the Uganda Youth Collective. And for that, I have written a book called Ugandan and Proud. The Uganda Youth Collective is simply this. I have grown up in the United Kingdom, as I said. I see so many Ugandans, and Ugandans, we are a beautiful, talented people. And I've seen many of people that I grew up with, and when I turn around, sadly, some of them, they have so many gifts and talents, but they don't have any jobs. They have gifts and talents, but are living at home with their parents doing nothing. And so, having gone for the journey, had children myself, and got to where I am, the Ugandan Youth Collective, our purpose is to take young people, even parents, and show you how do you turn your talent into something that can yield and create an income. Because coming from a Ugandan background, you parents know that when we are encouraging our children to go to school, be a lawyer, be a doctor, be, what else? An engineer. These are some of 3 and others that we look at. But we're living in a world where there's so many services that are required. But if we as parents are not aware of this, and all that we push our children to be is a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer, then if your child is not equipped to do such, then children fall off the lines and don't know where to turn to. So the Uganda Youth Collective wants to help young people, even you as adults, to help you turn that gift that you have into something that will yield an income. We also want to promote the Speaking of Luganda. I run a live show on Facebook called Speaking Luganda. And again, there's so many people that hear me speak and they assume I don't speak a word of Luganda. But again, because my mother brought me in a way that I speak Luganda, I speak it fluently. And I want to teach my children to be proud of being Ugandan. That's one of the things we do. We also work with those within the diaspora form of Ugandan descent, Ugandans in UAE, Ugandans in the States, who have come into the United Kingdom with the promise of a better life. But then they find themselves in a situation where people are taking advantage of them. You might be aware or not aware that some Ugandans here, maybe for some reason that their papers haven't come through yet. And many of them end up in places where people take advantage of them. With the Uganda Youth Collective, many people may not come to a place like this because they're scared. But online, you can connect with so many people. The Uganda Youth Collective, we want to invite them. They can speak to us via messaging without the fear that somebody's going to know who they are. To encourage them to do something with their lives. Those are some of the key things that I do. I'm happy, I'm proud to be part of this group and forum, and I pledge to Noreen that I will do whatever I can. You've got my support. Let's go ahead and do it. The Nigerians have done it. Those from different communities have done it. And I know in our Ugandan communities we have a disease. That disease is pulling each other down. But I say this, that the time is now that we Ugandans begin to build things for ourselves. I believe now is the time. People say to me, Winnie, why are you wasting your time with Ugandans? Because I'm Ugandan and I am not wasting my time. Because I say this, that when my children get to my age, I am not going to leave some of these dragons and some of these issues that we as parents, what I would call elephants in the room, that we as parents purposely refuse to deal with. That my children are going to come up and start to deal with the same situations. So, by the grace of God, I am standing and beginning to confront some of the issues that are eating up our community. If you look back at home in Uganda, we have issues back home in Uganda. But I believe that together as a unit, we can join together and do something not just here, but even supporting those back home in Uganda. So if you're Ugandan and you need any help, anything that is in my power to help you do, because you're Ugandan, reach out. I am happy to build you, to help you. Let's do this. Ugandans can. Thank you.
Wow, that is powerful. We didn't even know Winniek existed and we're Ugandans. Look how amazing. How many of us are going to click on Amazon and buy Winnie's book?